Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Bright, it's burning inside our hands. Turn the light on our own this time. We failed to forget it. Your is our insanity. Our humanity's tearing at the seams. Fire inside our hearts. Ties that we've made have been broken by the lies that pull us apart. Time to retake what was stolen from a dream that was almost ours. Your is our insanity.
Bob Moses live here in the KEXP studios. Songs from the new album Battle Lines.
Sacrifice all your life, heads hang heavy when there's blood on the line. It's justified. Don't ask why, 'cause heaven for the angels to fly, paralyzed. But don't you cry, 'cause heaven knows. Twice, where your faith is your only disguise. It's justified. Don't ask why, 'cause heaven knows.
That's Bob Moses live here in the KEXP studios. Heaven Only Knows from the new album Battle Lines. I absolutely love everything about that song. It makes my heart dance. It was the first song I heard from the new album, and I didn't have the rest of the release yet, and so I just played it over and over and over as if it was
Thank you.
one record. But what a great new album. Your last record was so widely and beloved, and people just totally were so excited after the release of your 3 EPs to have that full length, and you toured quite a bit. So I'm wondering when you started working on this new record and if you had any different ideas for how you wanted to approach it after, you know, touring so much, playing the last record so much.
I mean, we never really stopped touring. That's the thing. It's like we like people are like, oh man, you got to go on a new tour, but like, you know, the dates keep going. We just start calling them different names. You know, it's like the this tour and the that tour, but like we just keep going. So I think we played around 70 shows the year that we made Battle Lines, and that was very actually very inspiring and very informative about how we make our music. You know, it's like the first record, Days Gone By, was sort of very interpersonal, and we sort of wrote these songs. You know, we've always sort of written about what we know, but and sort of our struggles, and So we went out and saw that so many people shared in these same things, you know, like you're singing songs for people in Egypt or somewhere in the world and they identify with it, which was sort of really cool for us. But that also sort of really inspired us and made us realize, you know, the sort of struggles that everyone goes through. And then that sort of like inspired the themes for this new record.
You've talked before about the vocals being like an instrument in this band, and so I'm not surprised that the music resonates with people who maybe don't even understand what you're singing about, don't speak the same language, because it really is just a beautiful melange of music and sounds, and the vocals, which I do understand and I think are wonderful,
Thank you.
can speak to people whether they know what you're singing or not.
Yeah, I think like it's surprising to me. People always go like melody and rhythm first and then lyrics after if you're lucky, you know? So, yeah, we just, like Jimmy said, we just played in Egypt over the summer and there were like 4,000 or 5,000 people singing louder than I could. So that was pretty crazy. I think also we're lucky that English is a universal language now. And so there's something about some people I would think can even sing along without knowing what they're saying, but
Well, that's true. Even if you speak English, sometimes you don't know all the words and you sing along the ones that you recognize and then you make up the ones you don't because you just feel the need to sing along.
exactly.
You guys put on such great live shows, and actually it'd be wonderful to introduce your band because in the live setting you realize your music with these fabulous musicians.
Yeah, this is Julio on bass guitar over here.
And beautiful backing vocals.
And yes, backing vocals, and then Joe on the drums. They make us sound good, so we're super stoked to have him. Julio, we've been playing with Joe for a few years, and Julio we just brought into the fold, and we couldn't be happier. Like he adds so much, so it's a long way from coming just the two of us like DJing and me singing some of our songs to like full band. So it's really exciting.
That's got to be such a great feeling. Well, talking about when the two of you used to DJ and you'd sing along, I know that you were very involved in New York and sort of the underground house party, sort of warehouse music scene, and you just continue to bring that energy to your live shows. How do you feel like in the recording and the producing and now presenting live shows that you've grown since that time?
I think everything sort of informs each other. Like, you know, we when we just started out, just the two of us, and, you know, we never saw ourselves sort of as like a festival act. We sort of made records and played shows sort of geared towards that sort of ravey warehouse scene in New York, which at that point was sort of going global. So you started playing warehouses and all these things all over the world, and then all of a sudden we started playing festivals and with bands. And we've always kind of been like a punk rock band with an identity crisis. You know, we were just like punk dudes who kind of liked and played electronic music. So to us, we came from bands, so we were kind of like, it kind of made sense. We were like, our music already had sort of the element, like a lot, we've already put like live bass and things like that. So to add a drummer and to add a bass player felt very natural to us. Yeah, and I think that the live arena that we've played in has always very much influenced how we produce in the studio. So like when we started, we were like we loved this New York rave scene and warehouse scene, and we like wanted to be a part of it. So we made music that sort of we thought could fit in that. And then as we started playing festivals with Joe, and like Joe came in and played on some of the record. This was before we knew Julio, but you know, like playing with Joe over the last couple of years, touring the last record at festivals and stuff really informed how we made this record. And I think that's partially why we like to play so many shows while we record, is because it keeps you can kind of get lost in your head in the studio, and it keeps you grounded in a way. So
that makes a lot of sense. Since you spend so much time on the road touring now, do you find that you can stay involved in sort of that underground scene at all?
It's pretty global. Like, yes, is the short answer. We still do after parties, and we still do. We make a concerted effort to like play. You know, this is a concert tour, but we're also making an effort to like keep in touch with that scene, because it's very much a part of what inspires us. And
yeah, we'll play
cool,
a lot of festivals too, where they're like, we'll be on a dance stage, we'll sort of be the live act on that dance stage, and we'll play with other DJs who are either friends of ours or acts that we're fans of. So it ends up working out quite nice. The lines are really blurred nowadays. I feel like after EDM became this huge thing, people have really opened their minds up in like a alternative mindset and a pop mindset to like dance music and electronica and how that all can influence. So we feel like when we're at festivals, like Jimmy said, there's like a wider range of acts that play. So it's sort of like the underground scene is sort of bled into the alternative scene in a big way. So it sort of feels more together.
Well, speaking about dance and electronic music, you have your own spin on that where you add organic sounds as well. So obviously EDM is a very popular genre and people like that, but it's kind of nice to, when you come on the stage and then it's like, oh, this is just a little bit different. And you two come from a different background in music. And I'm just still so tickled about how you knew each other when you were younger, but went to one of the biggest cities in Vancouver. So you're a local band.
Yeah.
But you went to one of the biggest cities in the world, New York. And that's where you ran into each other and sort of sparked this relationship. But coming from different backgrounds, when you first started to play together, were you kind of thinking that, it would be something that would take the long term, or you were like, well, we'll try this, but I don't know what it's going to sound like?
Yeah, I think I just thought to myself, I mean, our backgrounds sort of started at the same place and then diverged and then came back together again. Like we both played the same talent nights at high school, his metal band, my punk band, sort of bleeding the lines. And then we kind of went off our own ways when we got sick of our bands and did our own thing for a bit. And then kind of came back together. And I think that we both, growing up at the same time in the same place, had all the same influences for the most part and had a same sort of vision of music and musical culture. And I think that really helped us. And when we first got together, my thing was just let's just try this out. Let's just see how it is. I haven't played with anybody really in New York that I'm inspired by. And we got together and had one session. It was just sparks right away, so we were just kind of I think we got together on a Tuesday and by Friday we were changing all our plans to make it so we could work together.
Well, I love that you go all the way to New York, this massive city, and end up in a great band with someone from your hometown, Vancouver. Yeah. And I heard you guys have moved west now. Are you in Los Angeles?
We made the record in LA, yeah. We like to say that living somewhere is really just an extended vacation.
Yeah, because you're on the road all the time.
Now we're on tour again for the next 18 months or so. So, we made the record in LA, and we're kind of bouncing around now. So we'll see what happens next.
Any city that wants them, it could happen.
Make it good. We're like the Olympics.
Bob Moses are live here in the KEXP studios. Battle Lines, the fantastic new record. Before I ask you to play a couple more songs, tell me about the title of that record.
The title, we had written a song called Battle Lines, and we were looking for a title, actually, and we were throwing a couple ideas out there. And this graphic designer, actually, we were looking for a cover around the same time, and we saw this cover sort of with this fire road that sort of had this really interesting thing to us, but we didn't know the story about how that picture came to be. It's not a very there's not an obvious story arc there, and we just thought it was a really interesting way to sort of summarize Battle Lines. It wasn't overly political in a way, but there was a story there to be told, and it just felt with sort of the melancholy of the record and all that sort of stuff. It just made a lot of sense to us. So seeing the cover and then having that title, it just
it kind of made it all make sense.
Yeah,
the record's a lot about sort of different battles that we go through in life, So we weren't sure about the title at first, but like Jimmy said, once we saw that cover, it kind of added to it made the title have sort of a very open-ended, sort of inquisitive, it was oh, what does that mean, Battle Lines? And then you kind of go in and if you go through the record and you listen to the songs and look at the lyrical content, you're sort of going through all these struggles in life, whether it be interpersonal or within our society or all that stuff. So we thought it just lended itself. It kind of came together really well.
Well, I love the new record. Again, Battle Lines, the new Bob Moses record. Play a couple more songs?
Awesome.
Yes,
yeah.
Let's do it.
This one's called Enough to Believe.
Wondering where to begin. a good place to begin, but will I ever know? I never know. All I want is enough to believe, but they said there was no guarantee. All I knew isn't here for me now. I look up at the stars, but heaven isn't holding my hand, hoping I can make it to the end, feeling like I'm dead in my head. I wasn't looking for a phantom or a friend. I keep feeling like I'm rushing to the end, looking for a good place to begin. I keep hoping for an answer in the wind. I wasn't looking for a phantom or a friend. Will I ever know? I never know. Trying to find a good place to begin, but will I ever know? I never know.
That was beautiful. You're listening to Bob Moses live on KEXP.
One more? Yep. All right. You guys ready?
Don't lie. Oh, when you say your hand
You're listening to Bob Moses live on KEXP, the title track from their new album, Battle Lines, out on Domino Records. That was so fun. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
It's so great to see you. And again, such a great new record. You've got it tuned to KEXP Seattle.
Discover new music at listener-powered KEXP.org.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?